Here we are at LarryRockTimer.com worldwide headquarters manufacturing facility in Fairbanks, Alaska. Actually, it's Salcha on a beautiful summer day. Looking at lots of cool stuff here in Alaska. The summer is hot and sunny, and we are enjoying it and not having too many wildfires. So I was going to do a little bit of assembly videos, try to get those done this summer. Starting with the laser beam. There's two different versions that I have. One of them is really simple. It's hardly just two quick solders and the switch is in the battery pack. So it just goes on here and the cover here. But it's a 3-cell battery pack, and so you have to make sure you get the right laser that goes around. These can be either 5 volts or you can have 3 volts. So this one is the 5-volt version, and so this one is very easy to put together. And we'll just put the I usually just push this in because then it's a nice easy way to hold it, but I do know that as you rotate this you can change a little bit of the focus on these lasers, so we'll double check it after we put it all together. And so we've got the red side and the blue side, or the negative side. So what's the advantage of this one? Well, it's a little less soldering. It is one more battery expense if you're trying to really minimize the cost. It's not quite as clean of a look as I think the other one with the switch. The second version is a just a 2-cell battery pack that goes in, and then one of these little cheap single throw switches pops in the bottom of it, and then of course one of the leads will go, and this is only 2 cells, so it's 3 volts, so you have to make sure you get a 3-volt laser. I didn't even know there were 2 different versions of these until I started looking around a little bit more. I ordered a whole bunch of stuff before the tariffs went into place, but I should have ordered even more. So we have this one. It's just got one extra solder, and you've got to solder onto the switch. And whether you like to solder with, put on the positive one, I guess it doesn't matter. That's where I'm going to go because that's where I'm at right here. And so we'll solder the positive leads on. This is a little bit cleaner look because then the cover covers everything, and there's nothing, there's no wires or anything. Actually, I think the biggest thing, the people that have contacted me about this system, usually they're pretty good programmers and all that. They've had less time soldering. So this is actually, you know, it's not the hardest thing to solder on the switch. This switch, I use this switch with students all the time. They can overheat it and will melt it, but we'll try not to do that today. You can nip that blue wire off. It's just kind of in the way, so I like getting it out of there. And usually if I make sure, I think these leads do come tinned. I'm just going to make sure that it's got some solder on it, and then it'll pop onto that. I've never soldered on camera before. It makes me a little nervous. Even if you've done this stuff a lot, I've done it a fair bit. Don't be shocked if you put the batteries in the wrong way sometime. And there it is. I'm going to rotate that a little bit and get it focused real good. There we go, nice sharp dot. There is enough room, this little piece that'll pop in here to keep the pack from floating around. It's just kind of nice. Okay. All good, still works great. You just have to put the cover on. I'll save that for later. The legs, back leg, just pops in here. Back leg, just pops in here. And front leg, if you have a little 632 tap, I just run it here just to get it started. It's not necessary at all, but I just do a quick thing there. And we put this in, little machine screw. Alright, that's all the way in and tight. And then I pop the cover on, and it is my case for the laser beam. The other one, just the same type of thing. Soldering, blue side is black and red side is positive. So this one, the switch is built in. So there is a little component to make sure that you hit. So the red side on this one, surprises me. I thought it was on the red, but I don't really know. My confusion over the wire and which one has a chip is a little understandable now when I take a closer look at. Here's the 5-volt version of the laser, and you can see the red side has no component on it, but the blue side does, and make sure you solder on the correct side. Here is the 3-volt laser version, and here the positive one is the side that has the little chip on it, and the blue side does not. And it doesn't really matter where you solder on here on the red side. Just make sure that you get a good connection. When you put this cover on, there's just a little spot where the wires will, if you want to cut these wires off, maybe makes it a little neater. So there you go. And this cover goes on, and there's just a little notch for the wires to push in under. Makes it as neat as I can get it to have the least amount of exposed wiring and stuff. So there's the operation for the laser cases.